Hi everyone, welcome to Tangle with Tracy Anne. Well, it's December already and Christmas is almost here. So today we'll be making these Christmas decorations. To make these decorations, you'll need some red and green paper, PVA glue, a glue gun, gold pen, a ruler and a pencil, and if you don't have a glue gun, you'll need a fast drying glue. I'm using A4 sheets of paper, but when they're finally cut down, I'll be using a 6 by 6 inch square. Use bigger paper and then cut it down so that all the edges are nice and neat. Using PVA glue, I'm going to cover this whole sheet with glue and smooth it out so there are no gaps whatsoever. Attach the other piece of coloured paper and smooth that out. Put that to dry and trim it to a 3 inch by 3 inch square. You may find that your paper wrinkles and buckles. I put my pieces under some fabric and ironed it, and that smoothed it out a lot. Using a gold pen now, go and do some sort of design. For this design I'm doing muka and putting random muka all the way around. Once I've done that, I'll fill in the gaps with some auras. I traced over my design again to make it nice and dark, and you can see in one that I've done before I only did the single colour and it doesn't stand out quite so much. So we'll see how it looks with this darker design. On the other side, I'm going to do the Tangle R. It looks a little bit like snowflakes or stars, so I'm going to do random sizes and fill this whole sheet. Here are some examples of other tangles that you might like to use. Divide your page into 1/2 inch strips and cut them out. So here you can see I have my strips and you don't notice any wrinkles now that at this stage. So if I look at the one I've done before, I've used green all on one side, and as it turns over you have the red on the edge. For my next one, I'm going to do a different arrangement. I'm going to get 2 strips and fold them in half. Once I've got the halfway point, I can make a cross. I have a mark so I know exactly where the middle is. Using a glue gun, just put a little dab of glue there. Or if you're not using a glue gun, make sure you've got fast drying glue here. And put that in and make sure that you've got it fairly square so that it all sits nice and evenly. Now I'm going to use the green side and place 2 strips over the top. And make sure that all the ends meet at the same place. So once I've got that sorted out, I'm going to just move one aside, put a little bit of glue where it's going to go, and glue that one down. Make sure it's nice and even, and do the same on the other side. Turn this around, get another 2 strips with the green side up, and I'm going to weave them in between the others so you can see how I've placed it under the red piece of strip. And so now that I've got that firmly in place, lift up that red strip and add a little bit of glue. Glue that down, and then you can do the same with the green strips. Lift each flap up, add a little bit of glue, and you can glue them all down nice and firmly. I have my glue gun set to a low temperature setting because I'm pretty hopeless at getting it everywhere, and you have to be careful not to burn your fingers. Turn it now so that it looks like a cross, and take those 2 green corners and fold them in together. Put a little bit of glue on that inside, and then fold the other one in so that the red sides are facing up, and match that right up into the corner. Do the same thing on each of the green corners. Use the rest of your strips to make another one exactly the same. You can see that I have them both the same way. The green is predominant, so I'm going to sandwich those together so the green actually is on the inside and the red is predominant. So you'll have to place these on an angle so that those little strips will actually fit into those corners. Now that I've threaded those strips through, I'm going to glue them down. So place the strip so that it meets exactly on that corner. Add a little bit of glue. Be very careful here. And slide that so that's exactly in the middle of that point. And we can trim these off later. So do this on each of the corners. So we'll do this side first. Flip the whole thing over and do the same on the other side. Looks like this corner hasn't got enough glue, so I'll just add a little bit more glue to that corner first. Now I can come in and just trim off those corners. Even though these two have the same patterns, by placing the strips in a different order and by doing the pattern a little bit darker on one of them, we get a different look. Use a fine ribbon, or I've got a little bit of gold twine here, to make a tie at the top. With my other strips, I'm going to do the opposite, and so I'm putting the green predominantly to the outside. So I'm placing those red sides together, and as before, thread those strips through. I'll go ahead now and glue them down. This time I pulled the strips out beyond that point, and you can see it's formed a little gap in the center, and if we look at the other one, it's fairly flat. So now I'll trim off those edges. So here we have 3 completely different looks using the same colours. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, do that so that you don't miss out on future videos. If you'd like to become a member of my Facebook group and share your own work, there is a link below this video. Until next week, stay safe and bye for now. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, there are some links here on the screen, and you can also hit that subscribe button.